everyone. I am on drink 4, which means I'm probably about ready to make this book haul, and it's kind of happening whether I'm ready or not. So, drink whatever you're drinking along with me as I ramble awkwardly throughout however many minutes it takes for me to get through all the beautiful pretties that I have here to share with you. For those who care, I am drinking vodka and lemonade with a little bit of Sprite for some zing. And I am sporting my Young Adult Books Central t-shirt, which is appropriate since the first thing that I got since my last book haul was from Young Adult Books Central. And the first thing that I'm going to share is one of the things I've been most excited about, and I'm thrilled to have it to review for YABC. I am 100% positive that I'll love it, especially since Debbie Snuggly Oranges loved it, and we have a very similar taste on ships, with some exceptions in J-drama. But let's not talk about that because otherwise we're pretty much perfect on the shipping thing. Oh, and a new adult book. But mostly, let's I'm complicating the issue. Ships. Debbie knows ships. I know ships. We know the same ships. And that is On the Fence by Casey West. She's been telling me to read this for a couple of months now, I think. And soon, my pretty. But I have so many pretties before this pretty. But this pretty will happen. This pretty will happen, and it will happen probably right before publication. But it's going to happen because Casey West and feels and romance, and because Debbie said so. Do you hear me, Debbie? I am listening, and I would jump to the front of the pile, but that will make me even more ridiculous than I already am. And I don't know if you're ready for that, Debbie. I just don't know if you're ready for that. Also from YA Books Central, hashtag 16 Things I Thought Were True by Janet Gertler. I wanted this one because I read one of Janet Gertler's other books recently, and I'm going to blank on the title, which is super hilarious and totally proves that I read it. But it was about paintball, and I liked the friendship in it, and I really enjoyed that book, which I then sent to Jillian, who hasn't read it yet, which is okay. That is not shaming Jillian. It is totally okay to have not read it yet. Anyways, I am excited for more Janet Gertler. I don't really know what this is about other than presumably social media, but there aren't actually that many books about social media, so that's exciting all in of itself. Also from YA Book Central is Rain, the second book in the Paper Gods series by Amanda Sun. I know a lot of people really didn't like Ink, the first book, because of the stalking and the insta-love, but I really liked her writing minus the romance parts, and really the romance was the only thing that I wasn't over the moon about, so I'm excited for more. And I just hope I love it. And then finally from YABC, I got fan art by Sarah Tregay. I know that Blythe really didn't like this book, and I respect Blythe bunches, but also I really liked Sarah Tregay's previous book that I've read. Again, I'm going to blank on the title. Apparently that is how my alcohol is manifesting itself today, is I can't remember the title of anything. Love and Leftovers. There it is. Take that, alcohol. Take that. So, fan art. And it's LGBT too. So, I mean, Blythe and I don't agree all of the time. I always respect her, but we don't always agree. So, I'm hoping this is one of those times where we don't agree, because I want to love it. I really badly want to love it. And then here is a sad ranty portion of the book haul, and that is that I love Tor. They're really nice, and I feel like if I request something from Tor, I'm pretty confident that it will show up, but they also like to send in unsolicited titles to me, and then a couple days after they send it, before it arrives, they send an email following up on it, and they're like, hey, we sent you this thing, you should review it. And I'm like, well, if you had asked me first, like, you're sending me an email, you took the time to send me an email, why not send me the email before you send me the book? Because I would have told you I don't want book 4 in a series that I have never read by an author combination that didn't impress me with the one book I read by them. So first I got Victories, which is the 4th book in the Shadow Grail series by Mercedes Lackey and Rosemary Edgehill. I didn't read a book from this series, but the one that I read by them Dead Reckoning, I think it was called, was not good. And I'm not catching up on 4 books. I haven't read these. I really hadn't heard of them until I think book 3 had an incredibly terrible cover I made fun of on Cover Snark. Like, I just wish they would send things, they would ask first, and I feel bad when I get review copies for things that I don't want, and someone probably out there wants. And it makes me sad. So, also I got Motherless Child by Glenn Hirschberg, which has the creepiest cover in the world. It's apparently like a horror paranormal thing. This one I am going to try eventually, being the operative word. But again, thriller horror things aren't really my bread and butter. But I'll try this one. It's at least a standalone. Like, there's no way I'm trying it if you send some series that I've never read late on in the series. Another one that I'm not going to read, I got a whole bunch of things from Penguin Young Readers Group, which I'm very excited about. But the first one I just don't think is going to be a me book. So this one I'm not going to be reading. End Times by Anna Schumacher. I do really like the cover, actually. But I just, April, Good Books and Good Wine reviewed it, and she enjoyed it overall. But I really don't know that I'm going to. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get past her negative things the way that she did. April's very open-minded, and I'm very black and white about a lot of things. And I know this about myself, so I'm going to spare myself and not read End Times. So apparently it's pretty cool if you're into like Reckoning stuff, but I just don't know that I would enjoy it. And then this one I'm very excited about from a giant package I got today. All of these are from one package, the rest of them. Fiendish by Brenna Yovanov, which I am thrilled about because I loved Yovanov's last book, Paper Valentine. So I really want this to be amazing. Also, I love this cover. This is one I was hoping to try to beg Penguin for at BEA, and they probably wouldn't have had it. But it came! I'm so excited! And then Chasing the Milky Way by Erin E. Moulton, which is apparently about mental health, and I'm not really sure if this is a me book, but I'm at least going to try it. Although I do think it's a shame. I noticed on Goodreads she has a couple of other books, and their covers are gorgeous, and this cover is terrible. It's just, what is that? Did you try? Sorry, cover artists. I mean, you already hate me probably anyway, so whatever. And then All Four Stars by Tara Derman, which is apparently about baking, which makes me think of my friend Jillian. So I'm actually kind of excited about this, even though I'd never heard of it. But it's a middle grade about Gladys Gatsby, who cooks. And anyway, I hope it's delightful and that it makes me think of Jillian baking books. And then I got Ollie and the Science of Treasure Hunting by Erin Dion. I read Erin Dion's first book, which again, I'm going to blank on that title, but it was long, and it was about art history and a mystery. This one is a mystery as well, and I enjoyed her first one, but not enough that I am really compelled to read more, just because I'm not really a mystery person. However, today while I was at the office, the president of the company came by and was talking about how much his son loves to read, and he's apparently really into mysteries. So I'm going to pass this to his son, who is 12, I think? 8? I don't remember how old the son is. Anyways, I'm going to pass this to a middle grader who will probably greatly enjoy it. And then also really excited for Point by Brandy Colbert, which Dahlia has been talking up to me for months, I think. This one is apparently already out. Yes, it is. But I'm going to manage to sneak it onto my schedule sooner rather than later because I'm very excited. Dark contemporary ballet. Everything about that sounds amazing. And in its honor, let's have another drink. And then some more middle grade. I got quite a lot of middle grade. I'm guessing not that many people in the Penguin forum said that they like middle grade, so I get a lot more of it than I was really anticipating. The Only Thing Worse Than Witches by Lauren Magaziner, which is quite a fun last name. And hello, that's Percy, if you have not seen these videos before, but mostly I think only my friends watch these videos, so. Friends! Cat has shown up! Isn't he nice to show up this time? And this one looks kind of cute. So I'm totally going to try this one. Then there is Between the Spark and the Burn by April Genevieve Tucholka. For those of you who follow my reviews with some amount of closeness, you probably know that I was one of the black sheep on the first book, Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. So I'm actually not super interested in this one. And I'm going to ask you, internet, Ashley, did you get a copy of this? If you want a copy of this and you don't have one, let me know because you get first dibs. Okay? And Ashley, if you're not watching this and you miss out on it, oops. Although that's very meta because if you're not watching this, you don't know that I've said that to you. But whatever. I also got The End or Something Like It by Andy Ellis, which I really am entertained by this cover, but Jenny didn't like it because of the writing, and, you know, I like really intricate writing, so I'm pretty sure, oh god, just flipping through this, I can tell that I'm gonna hate this writing. So I'm not reading this one either. So, dear friendly friends, if this interests you, let me know, because it's just gonna sit here. Also got Love and Other Foreign Words by Erin McCann. That's what I'm going to say that is. And this is getting compared to John Green and Rainbow Rowell. So I was very interested in it, and I'm curious to try it. I hope it is good and does not disappoint as much comparison marketing does. Finally, from Penguin Young Readers Group, yes, that was still all Penguin, is The Glass Sentence by S.E. Grove. It's the first book in the Map Makers series. And I don't really know anything about it, but look how cool the spine is. I don't know. I have a good feeling about this. And usually my good feelings about middle grade are correct. Not always, but usually. Then I got a couple of unsolicited books from Orbit. First is House of the Rising Sun by Kristen Painter, which I am a little intrigued by, but wasn't going to request just because paranormal doesn't work out for me as often as I want it to. But I do like the song reference, and I'm willing to try this one. Then there is Reign of Ash by Gail Z. Martin, which is the second book in the Ascendant Kingdoms trilogy. I got the first book in the Ascendant Kingdoms trilogy unsolicited last year, and I read it against my better judgment, even though it was very long, and I didn't really like it because while it wasn't bad, I haven't read anything by Orbit that I thought was just bad. But it wasn't my kind of fantasy. It was more plot driven than character driven, which is fine. It just doesn't work for me. So I won't be reading this one either. And then I got a hardcover of Trudy Canavan's Thief's Magic. And basically what I have to say to that is apparently I really have to read this book since they sent me first an ARC unsolicited and then a hardcover unsolicited. So I'm going to have to make time for this big-ass book. And then from Montlake Romance, I got Darkness Bound by J.T. Geisinger, fifth book in the Night Prowler series. Now, probably most of you don't remember, but I actually got a bunch of things from Montlake Romance in the past. You know, every like 4 months something shows up, and then in one of these videos, I'd been like, Montlake Romance keeps sending me these things, and I never gave anyone my address. I don't know how they're sending me these things. And so someone actually emailed me and was like, oh, we'll stop sending you these things and give you a contact with, you know, the YA part of Amazon's publishing. But the YA part didn't come through, and now Montlake is back. So I don't know what, but this is probably getting recycled because I have said specifically that I'm not really interested in any Montlake Romance titles, but here they are. From Penguin Adult, Dreaming for Freud by Sheila Kohler. I read a Sheila Kohler book previously, and it was very pretty writing. And I think this one is going to be better, even, perhaps, because the subject matter is more my thing than the other one was. So I think Freud is interesting, and I am very excited to try this one. It's also quite short, which is always extra fun. And finally, from Matt Kids, who will probably always be my favorite, I got the Scandal Sisterhood of Prickwillow Place by Julie Berry. And this cover is adorable and hilarious to me. Makes me think of like Anne of Green Gables, but with murder mystery. And I also really enjoyed Julie Berry's last book, even though it was in second person, which is one of my least favorite things in the entire world. So, needless to say, I'm pretty excited about this one. And that is all I have for you. I hope you have enjoyed this boozy book haul. Have a good night.